Fry Friday. Boy or girl, we'll find out. Well, good morning, fishy folks, and happy Friday. Hope everyone is having a great start of summer. If you're a kid and you're done with school, which you should be, congratulations. If you're a parent and your kids are done with school, congratulations. And if you don't have any kids and you're not a kid, well, less traffic for you, so yay. All right, we have these chocolate mollies, and when I purchased them, I believe I purchased a trio. I picked them out, and I was very confident that I got one boy and two girls. And when I made Water Change Wednesday's video, I said the dark chocolate one is the boy, and the two other ones are the girl. And I said that because that's what I thought I bought on Friday. Now, you have to understand, Friday was, when I bought these, it was about 12 hours after I got off the plane from Japan. I probably was tired and delusional at the same time. And that's what I thought I purchased. Well, a couple people in the video were like, no, that dark chocolate one is a girl. And so I figured I would come down here and double check. And we could kind of double check together. So first, in Mollies and Swordtails and Platies, one of the ways to tell boy or girl is the gonopodium, which is the male reproductive organ. And it's on the bottom towards the middle, the back half of the middle of the body. And I'm just hoping one of these guys or gals wants to show us their stuff. Now, for the purposes of this video, we're going to call the dark one the dark chocolate one. And we're going to call that one right there the big one. And we'll call that one the little one. Okay? Everyone understand? Fantastic. Now, you can see the big one's chasing the little one, which leads me to believe he is a boy. Typically, that's the breeding behavior you might see in live bearers. Now, there's no cover in this tank. It's just a quarantine tank. Sometime, maybe today, really tomorrow my time, but today if you're watching this on Friday, or over the weekend, I will move them into a bigger tank. I am not sure where yet. We can discuss that later. And then they'll be covered. It'll be less stressful for the little one, if indeed the big one is chasing because he wants to boom chicka boom boom, if you know what I'm saying. Now, if you can see if we can see the anal fin. So on the little one, I don't know if it's coming out on camera, but the female is fan shaped. So if I could draw it here, I wish I had a dry erase marker. That would be that would have been smart. Oh, look, I have a Sharpie. Hold on, I gotta switch hands. Okay, look at me, I got smart. I set up the tripod. I don't know if this is gonna work because I'm a horrible artist, and we're gonna draw a Sharpie. To get Sharpie off glass, all you need is alcohol. That's what I use. So whatever you use is fine, but that's what I use. My wife is a nurse, and almost every night she comes home from work, she has like 1,000 of those little alcohol swabs because nurses put them in their pocket because they need them all the time, and they come home with them. So I have a ton of them. Anyway, I digress. Anal fin, female, looks like a fan. So if this is the bottom of the belly of the fish, the anal fin looks kind of like this. Kind of like that, maybe even a little more curved for a female. A male, on the other hand, would look kind of more like this. More pointy, more looking like a gonopodium, if you know what I'm saying. Fan female. Gonopodium guy. I just made that up. That's kind of cool. So, that said, we have to see which one these guys are. So I've been staring at them for not that long, maybe 5 minutes. Came down, filled up my water tub. I don't like to film when that's on because it's too loud. And I sat here and stared. And to be blatantly honest, I woke up this morning and went, it's Thursday. I have to make a video for tomorrow. I have nothing. And then I thought to myself, let's talk about male and female mollies, because there was sort of a conundrum in the last video. All right. Male and female mollies, as I said, that's pretty much the way to tell. Behavior is also another way, which you can tell sometimes with other fish. But in this case, I typically use the physical attributes of their breeding apparatus, if you know what I'm saying. So in looking at these guys, and I really wish I could get a better shot for you guys, but in looking at these guys, I believe the big one is a male. And the reason I'm not 100% sure is the Gonopodium, or his anal fin, right, kind of looks like this, but also has like a tiny little flap like that. So it's kind of solid here and see-through here. Think that's a male. It's also acting like a male. And then the dark chocolate one is clearly a female, as people have said, based on the Gonopodium, based on the anal fin. And same with the little one, I also believe is a female. Now, I could be completely wrong on both counts. They all could be females. that is a possibility. But I'm about 80% sure the big one is a male. And I think the dark chocolate one is actually trying to hold back dropping fry. That's what I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some floating plants. Hiya. I'm going to add some floating plants, which will only make it more difficult to get these guys into their forever home. But maybe it'll give her some cover if she wants to drop those fry. So we'll see what happens. Now my hand's all wet. And I can't shut my phone off. Actually, I could shut my phone off with my other hand using your head mic. I also want to discuss mollies. And do you get a pair? Do you get a trio? Are they like guppies? What's the best way? With most live bearers, at least the live bearers I keep, I always want an odd number of male to female. Because the male his whole goal is to make the females have babies and eat. That's pretty much it. Kind of like humans. So if you have one male and one female, that male is consistently going to be picking on that female, trying to, that said, if you have one male and two females, that splits the aggression in half. One male and three females is usually what I like to have. In this particular case, I only bought a trio because I really wasn't sure how these guys were going to do. Sometimes newer fish like this, or unusual, not really unusual, more rarer species like this are more fragile. And I just wanted to make sure. Mollies also sometimes are grown in water with salt in it, and I don't use salt. I know there are plenty of people that use salt for live bearers, especially guppies. It adds a lot of stuff. Adds a lot of, not chemicals, elements, minerals to the water, and helps them. But I don't. I'm lazy and cheap. So back to Mollies. So the Molly breeding setup is pretty much the same as a guppy breeding setup, which I've showed you before. In fact, I'll put a link right there to my guppy breeding video, how I breed guppies, and simply give the females a place to hide and food for the babies to eat and grow, and that's it. In general, I find mollies don't eat their fry as much as guppies do. I don't know why, because they're probably just as tender and delicious, but they don't. Um, mollies also, you can keep at a little cooler temperature. In fact, I find when breeding mollies, a little bit cooler temperature works better in the growing for profit tank with the creamsicle layer-tail sailfin mollies. So speaking of the growing for profit tank with the mollies in it, you can see all the little itty bitty molly babies and juveniles and many different spawns in here. I've been trying to not clean the tank out, but try to get most of the duckweed out, try to plant most of the floating plants, or keep the floating plants sort of on one side, but you know, not really working. How about we go down here and look at fry. Alright, fishy folks, quick Friday tour because it's Friday. Pink pastel steel nebula guppies. Colony has exploded. I mean, if these aren't one of the best guppies you've ever seen, I don't know what is. But they're spectacular looking. I may put a female outside in a separate guppy tub and see how those fry grow, but we'll see. Red flame guppies doing great. The colony took a huge hit for a while. I don't know what was wrong, but no fish deaths in here in quite a while, so I'm gonna say we're all good. Some of these guys, these really are mutt guppies that I've been selectively pulling out the ones I don't like and leaving the good ones. And you can see there are some, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, there's some snake skin or snake skin patterns on some of them on the body. And I know Susan from SLC Aquatics really likes those. If you haven't checked out her channel, go check out SLC Aquatics, SLC. Like Salt Lake City, but it's not Salt Lake City. Check out her channel. She's the fish fan mom. What else? We'll go up to the top. So, red panda guppies, peppermint holy Jesus, they're not red panda guppies. I wish they were. Red panda platies or peppermint platies. At one point I saw one fry in here and I was like, well, that's weird. And then yesterday when I came down here after dinner, there's like 5 or 6 big juveniles. I mean, like that big already. They must have been hiding good. Of course, I can't see them. Oh, there's a couple back there. So these females have really plumped up though, so I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some big drops. That'll be nice. How about these guys? We haven't talked about these in a while. These are layer tail, high fin, swordtails. People told me that male has the long fin gene and the female has the long fin gene, and that is a deadly combination. Okay, I don't know where all these fry came from then. So apparently it's not. That male looks beat up, but that's how he's always looked. You know, he looks skinny and stuff, and his fins are a little beat up and tattered, and I think that's just because there's the female probably protecting her fry. But at any rate, these guys are for sale. If you're interested, you can email me and I'll get you a price list. Alright, let's look at one more tank that I want to show you. We got fry in all the guppy tanks, but the purple deltas, I don't know if you can see the messy fry, the messy tank, and the fry in there, but there's 2 separate drops. It's probably about 20 fry in there. And if you remember, I got 2 pair of these, and I did lose a female before I went to Japan, I believe. So there's just 1 female and 2 males, but There's plenty of cover and plenty of space for her to hide, so I'm not overly concerned. Alright guys, I think that's it for Friday. I lied. Let's look at the Red Russian lace tank, because there's some fry in there, and I'm quickly falling in love with these guys. Look at how beautiful that male guppy is. Red Russian lace. And one drop in here so far that I can tell. And yeah, just growing them out. Alright guys, that's it for Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed the little lesson. I hope you learned something. And if you're interested in any of my fish, please email me at michaelsfishroom@gmail.com. And you can also email me questions about your fish if you want. I will do my best to answer. I by no means am an expert at everything fish, but I do know a little something about breeding for profit and guppies and mollies and angels and stuff like that. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on Sunday. So that said, if you have one male and one female, then that male is consistently going to be picking on. Sorry, I just want to make sure. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm distracted. I believe a platinum angel back there spawning, but I gotta go check. Where was I? Sorry, easily distracted. Something silver. Whoa. This, folks, is a brain fart. That's what that's called. Because now I have no idea. Oh, back on track. Lower thing. Yeah. So, hey, an aquarium co-op sticker. All right, I'm getting off track. This is kind of silly. Let's start over. You can see the shadow, the reflection. Where's my finger? What the fruit? I'd rather not do that, but what am I talking about?